I just wanna roll. I just wanna roll. I just wanna roll. Nat 20 on that troll. Hit that shit like really gold. I just wanna.
Welcome to Monster, a D&D game played by professional comedians. I'm your dungeon master, Kevin Eggleston, joined by
Tyler Waltz. I will be playing Ekram, the sorcerer.
Wonderful. And I'm playing Chester Blackfield. He's a human fighter.
All right, and we are back for another episode. To recap, for those of you just tuning in, last episode saw Chester following a individual down a dark alley and making some joke death saving throws that almost turned into real death saving throws.
I also apparently killed a man by punching him in his balls so hard with non-lethal damage.
Yeah, that can sometimes happen. It's called testicular explosion. Meanwhile, Ekram kind of solved all the mystery and left his friend to bleed out in an alleyway.
He did. I assumed he could handle himself.
Did I die?
Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you failed 3 of those rolls.
Yeah. If I didn't show up, yes, you did.
Yeah. You folks were visited in your dreams by the something that both left you changed and a little bit scared. Trying to uncover the mystery, you've discovered a meeting of cultists, as well as the container you were asked to retrieve being owned by the mysterious lore worm. So now we find ourselves, it is the middle of the day. You are recovered from your brushes with death, or at least just Chester's brush with death. Ekram, you were, I don't think even hurt.
No, I was fine.
And you were doing pretty good. Chester, how do you feel?
I feel like I got some pretty cool tattoos. Feels good. You're always a little sore after a good tattoo session.
Not at all about the getting beaten in an alleyway? Or is that just a Tuesday for you?
It happens, you know. It happens. It literally happened.
Ekram, has that ever happened to you?
No, I
Okay.
can't say it has.
All right. You guys were, you had the 2 options in front of you. It was one was to head out to the lore worms or stick around at night and wait for the cultist meeting. Which one did you guys want to do?
And we didn't think we had time for both.
You did have time for both.
Okay. Since the cult meeting is this evening, I would say that we give our friend a visit to figure out what exactly burnt our friend's eyes out, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah. He was dead.
Yep.
Eyes. Little scorchy boy.
Gross. Yeah, yep. I'm with you.
I'm glad we agree, and that was wrapped up quickly.
Yeah. It doesn't drag on at all. All right. So you guys exit the tavern, making your way to the...
Vanessa, making my way downtown just every time.
You could only sing one bar of it. That's all we can afford.
That's all I know. That's perfect.
Now I've got that stuck in my head. Cool.
I also don't think that was good enough to get copyright claim.
Yeah, no, I think they would be like, he can do it. Try again.
The words are wrong. It was not in the right tempo or tone or pitch.
Somehow the original video lost views.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Terry Crews actually is on the line. He has words to share with you about your performance. You guys make your way to the mansion of the lore worm. Go ahead and make me history rolls.
Using my noggin's what I'm good at.
It is an unnatural 20.
All right.
Using my noggin to stop fists is what I'm good at, because I got a 3 on the dice.
Okay. So you kind of remember the lore worm as this kind of information broker, artifacts dealer, kind of has their hands in a lot of pies, which also is strange because they're a baker. So not known for cleanly pies.
It's good to know, though.
No, they're kind of one of those folks that both dabbles in legitimate business and also the more criminal aspects of it. Basically, if it concerns magic, the occult, or any of the various like activities that can bring in money, they're about it.
Quick sidebar. Is it safe to assume that my character might have a little bit of history with this person?
You might, yeah.
Okay. I figured if I'm also trying to create some sort of underground enterprise, we would have had.
She would have been definitely a person you would know about.
Okay. Cool. Right on.
Chester, you spelt worm wrong. You spelled it W-R-O or W-O-R-M, and it's highly offensive to lore worms.
Wait,
So
his name's not Lauren Worm?
no, that's his father.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way. It's you are in front of these large, just thick iron gates. They're kind of unornamented, as if whatever person puts them there really favors function over form. But you do see engraved in the front of one of them is the symbol that you saw carved into the box that was empty. That symbol of a dragon's tail rising out of a book.
You said we're at the front gate.
Yeah, you're
so
at
we're
the
not
front
at
gate.
the door yet.
You know,
Okay. Is the gate open?
you push it open and you stride to the front,
Okay.
and you are greeted by a sturdy oak door.
I'll give her a knock.
All right, roll knock proficient. No, so you give it a knock.
Is knocking dex or strength based?
Well, which one do you have the most of?
Why'd you have to look? You're a fighter.
Strength.
Yep.
Okay, it's Dex.
Yeah.
That's actually Constitution. It's bashing your head against it and not
That's
dying.
my second best one.
Yeah. So you knock on the door. You kind of hear from behind it the sound of metal on stone, and the door opens, and a silver-colored automaton, this kind of humanoid-shaped man robot stares in front of you and just, hello. What brings you here today?
Howdy, Mr. Worm.
Ah, you seek the mistress.
Yeah. If I would know who she is, I would know her name, right?
No,
No.
not necessarily.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yes, we're here to speak to the lore worm.
Yes. I sense you have something that belongs to her on you.
I don't. Perhaps. I think that's kind of what we're here to discuss.
Oh, please come this way. And he opens the door wider for you to walk in. As you guys enter, you see opens to this grand hallway with a spiral, or not a spiral staircase. What is it? Those grand staircases that lead up to a second floor. Flanking the door on either side are three more of these servants, each one of them carrying kind of some shining bright spears. They seem to be catching the light and almost are just tough to look at. As he kind of slowly leads you away up the staircase, you enter into a larger room that is just packed wall to wall with books in ornate marble columns. The room itself is gorgeous and beautiful, and you realize this is almost like a dragon's hoard worth of books. A library just overflowing with texts. Around you, little winged kind of automatons flit about, moving books from place to place, cataloging and sorting things, carrying stacks of scrolls. In the center of the area is a deep bowl. And go ahead and make me Arcana checks.
Shoot. Ekram, you ever seen so many books?
I don't believe I have, especially not with a 7.
Oh, God. Why did I get the good one? All right. You said Arcana?
Yeah.
I rolled an 18, so that makes it a 17.
Yeah, all right. So, Ekram, you are just baffled. You're like, I would spend a lifetime here. There's surely got to be untold power and knowledge in this place. You instead, Chester, are more caught up with that pool. As you move closer to it, you see yourself, and as you look into it, you see yourself aging. Your reflection. You start as the kind of grizzled maybe broken-nosed fighter that you are, and you start aging, you start noticing liver spots on your face. Your eyes start to get a little bit more sunken. Your skin gets a little bit more saggy, and you're all of a sudden an old man. And you realize this is a scrying pool, but it's looking forward in time.
Ekram, come over here. Take a look at this. Turns you into a daddy.
What?
Hang on. Do you have kids? Zaddy. I think that's what the kids call him, a zaddy.
No, I do not have any children, but I will take a look at whatever you could be talking about.
Look at it. It's like a fast forward of your whole life.
Would I know what this
Ekram,
is?
you stare into that pool.
It's like a TikTok filter to let you know how you're going to look when you're older.
You
Are you hot?
Like, I don't see anything. This is terrifying.
yours actually just kind of your face gets meaner, angrier. All of a sudden, a large scar forms over one of your eyes. Dark bags under them, as if you haven't slept in weeks. You get a cruel smile as you grow slightly older, and eventually you see yourself wearing a crown of dark fire.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Ah, hell, boy.
Yeah. As you both look at your reflections, you are just admiring it.
Do I see that?
Go ahead and roll me let's just roll a luck check. 4. No, you see him progressing backward, like Benjamin Buttoning. You see him.
He's getting younger and smaller, or
yeah,
younger,
he's just
older and
becoming
smaller.
younger.
Oh. You are an ugly baby. No.
All right. Yes, gentlemen, please come away from the pool. You don't want to see anything that might change how you conduct yourselves. As you turn to look at the voice, you see a matronly-looking woman. Her hair is pulled back in a tight bun. She's wearing blue robes that are elegantly cut, and there are 3 sapphire gems studding the front of those. Just by the looks of them, those sapphires are probably worth more money than you have ever held in your life.
I mean, that's if you place value on that kind of thing. Like, not worth
The
much to me.
market has placed value
Yeah.
on that kind of thing, actually.
Oh, right. The market.
Yeah, this
the
isn't
market.
one of those things where you're like, oh, she might have sapphires, but I have happiness. We've seen how your backstory was written. No.
I mean, it could be worse.
You could have died in that alley.
You're welcome.
Gentlemen, I bid you welcome. She gives kind of a small gesture to the automaton, and he makes a curt bow and heads off. And she's, well, gentlemen, what's brought you to my abode today?
I'll approach, stick out my hand for a handshake. I don't know if
She does that very
reciprocate.
ladylike thing where she like puts it in your hand and expects a kiss, but
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, I'll follow through. Oh,
Okay.
Sure, why not?
I do the same and tickle her knuckles with my mustache.
There's an extra layer of
were you doing it
unnecessary.
Well, Ekram was doing it too.
just both hands up.
No, I sneak in on the same hand. I'm like, ah.
Ah, yes, you charming, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're being polite. You ever been politeful towered?
You must be Chester. You must be Ekram then.
Yes, that is true.
Would it be cliche if I said I was expecting you boys?
It's welcome.
Yes.
Cool pool thing, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's just a little scrying pool that is tapped into the temporal flow. It goes forward and backward. It definitely takes a master to look at it without going insane. How are you guys feeling? You stared at it for a while there, Chester.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the accuracy rating on said reflection?
Oh, it's time. There's really no guessing until it's already happened, right? I mean,
Yeah, but like I didn't see any scars on my face or anything like that. So if I just took like a dagger and slashed my face, like, it's like things can happen, right?
yeah. I mean, You saw scars on your face, huh? That every time I've seen a scar, that happens.
Well, no, I didn't see a scar. So
Oh,
what's
okay.
stopping me from just creating one, thus making the pool wrong?
I think you think we follow looper rules here. We don't. It's time. It's a series of branching infinities, and we're just looking at one such possibility.
Oh, okay. So it's not guaranteed. It's more of a most likely path.
It's whichever one you were looking at. It's tough to explain until you've been in the middle of it.
Oh, so if I go look again, I might see something completely different.
You sure could. Would you like to? Would you like me to show you something?
Sure.
She takes you over to the pool, and she reaches into her robe, and she pulls out what almost looks like pearl dust, like a fine sand that kind of glimmers and sparkles, and she throws it out across the water. And as you two both look over the edge,
I don't look again.
Okay.
No.
Well, what are you doing while Akram's looking?
Just hanging back. I'm just like, as Daddy once said, fuck that.
The pearl dust settles on the surface, and as it starts to slowly drip down towards the bottom, you see before you, you're back in that alleyway. That group of cultists and the burly werewolf are exchanging the box, and she goes, "Oh, this isn't the future at all, is this? Gentlemen, I do have a question, though. Do you know where that box is?"
I'm going to be honest with you, ma'am. Not cool. You did this on purpose.
Yes.
What'd she show you?
She showed our brief exchange and getting the box. So,
You know, I heard you can get a wizard to fake people's faces on stuff nowadays. Like, it's pretty easy to do. They got, like, an orb that just does that. You don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, we
deepfakes?
don't need to deep fake it. We actually have a spell for it.
Yeah,
I know. Self.
I know that spell.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. Is it easier to get a bunch of people disguise themselves to make it look like we did a thing? Or is it easier to, put a little orb filter over the video?
They wouldn't need a bunch of people disguised as people she doesn't know. They would just need to disguise 2 people.
Well, you know what? I thought you were on my side, Ekram, but you do put up you put up a compelling point.
Yeah, so we're all in agreement this happened, yes?
Yes, it did. Now, my question to you is, are you more concerned with the box or the thing in the box?
Oh, well, gentlemen, I'm going to be very candid with you. I don't give a good gosh darn whether or not you took that box. I care what's inside of it. Where is it now?
Ah, see, that's where we have an issue. And my friend here can vouch for this. I have no reason to lie to you. We acquired the box. We brought it to the person that employed us to get said box.
Mm-hmm.
We went to bed for the evening because we had done our job.
Good night, honk shoe.
When we woke up in the morning, he was dead. The box remains, and I'll show her the box. However, somebody has taken what is inside.
Question: what was inside? Was it 2 burnt eyeballs? Because we know where those are at.
So neither of you weren't there when the box was opened.
Nope.
You couldn't have been there. You both are alive.
Correct.
Yep. We didn't look in it because we were told not to. We're very good at our jobs.
I do value your discretion. I'll make note of that.
However, what we do know is that some cult members from the cult that we believe is the cult of the Awakened Dreamer came to retrieve it. So we don't know if associates of theirs gathered it and they were sent to clean up afterward or what. But we do know that they are in pursuit of it as well.
I see. This is more dire than I had feared. Gentlemen, did anything else happen? Is there anything you're leaving out? For all of our sakes, is there anything else to know?
He almost died in an alley.
I did nearly die in an alley, but not the first time that's happened, so I wouldn't really count that as a.
Oh no, I have that on. I can throw more pearl dust. We can see it. It's like a greatest hits out here for us. Me and the automatons get together and watch it. Quite right. It's like football in the groin,
Oh, it's a classic.
but for alley fights.
yeah.
Just the whole time it's.
Yeah, we invented the Benny Hill theme just for this.
Instead of me being chased by women in underwear, it's just people just kicking the shit out of me.
I don't believe. I do believe that is all the information that we do have. However, if you are looking for assistance when it comes to employment, or maybe even just somebody to help with all these marvelous books, we are more than welcome to some form of partnership.
Gentlemen, I need to ask you a question, an important one. What do you know about the city?
Not a ton. Basically, just.
Cobblestone roads.
Okay, well,
I know a little bit more than that, but
You did spend. She like throws more pearl dust and just pulls up all the times you've been knocked down onto a cobblestone. Yes, he's. Wow, you've seen all of the roads.
Yeah.
I guess should I just roll a history check to see?
You can, yeah.
15.
Okay. With a 15, you feel like you can recall a fair bit about this city. And in fact, you realize you know where it's a multiversal kind of hub. People from different realms, planes of existence kind of crash here. It's a port city. But instead of a port on like a coast, it's like in a multiversal coast. And she goes, you know that, but you don't know the biggest secret about it, do you? Oh, I do question if your minds can handle this, but this will be fun. Okay, I'm not worried about your mind, Ekram. Chester,
I would say 50-50.
this is... she claps twice, just a little... And she has one of the little automatons come over and fits Chester with a helmet. Ooh. And she goes, this is just in case I blow your mind. I don't want to clean up a mess.
Figuratively, or?
It could go either way, honestly. And she goes, first, to show you, I have to show you something else. And she starts to change. This little kind of matronly librarian, her limbs begin to elongate. Her body begins to grow. Her neck stretches. And what you're starting to see is this woman turning, and she takes shape. And before you stands almost filling the chamber you're in, probably about 25 feet tall, is the most massive dragon you've ever seen. The sapphires have stretched. One rests floating in the air between two horns on her head, and the other two are emblazoned in her chest. Go ahead and roll me Arcana checks.
14.
Okay.
3.
All right. Ekram, you recognize from your readings, this is a time dragon. They're guardians of timelines, of kind of just what we consider reality. And from what you can tell, she is ancient. And that's for a group of creatures that kind of exist outside of time. In that spell, she's my gentleman. It's again that soft, melodious kind of voice, that very soft, but it's in your head. You don't even see a mouth moving. And she, my dear, sweet little Ekram, my little one that wants to just make light out of the darkness. And you, Chester. Everyone thinks you're just this cold-blooded murderer, but you're just a happy-go-lucky little puppy of a man, aren't you?
Help!
Yep. All right. She turns to the pool and she puts her one just massive taloned hand. I don't. What does a dragon have?
Claw.
Four-leg claw.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, it depends on the type of dragon.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's a worm.
Hmm.
It's a lore worm.
If,
Lore
if
worm.
if it was a worm, he would have said worm.
Yeah, okay, all right. Fuck me
Yeah,
for trying to make a goof. you fucking-
WYRM. Why do you do this? We already made this goofs.
By the way, Chester, I know you seem awfully scared right now. If she wanted to kill us, she would have done it by now. I think we're okay.
I mean, maybe she wants to do it in a minute.
Maybe, but
You've never had something you wanted to do and kind of put off a little bit?
She is like, hey, gentlemen, if I wanted to kill you, I could do it at any time.
See?
I could even go back in time and smother you in your cradles. I could even go back and make your grandparents unfall in love. It's not that hard. Okay, now you're thinking about that, aren't you?
Well, I just want to say thank you very much for not doing that.
Oh, I could also be the thing that kills you in the future.
mean,
it's
that's-
very fun. I have access to the entire timeline.
That's cooler. I mean, it's if you're going to do one of them, just that one. The last one's fine.
I don't think it matters either way.
Yeah.
Just be grateful. Don't be rude.
Yeah.
She
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it matters
Yeah.
either way.
I know, and I'm saying don't be rude, man. Shut the fuck up.
And it's, as her claws settle into the water, you see around it spreads an image. You see the image, the skyline of the city, the buildings that you're familiar with. You see the wizards' towers. You see the business centers. You see all the things that you've come to love in the city. As it pulls back out, you see the ships flying in and out and you recognize designs from dozens of cultures. And then that goes further to kind of a scabby wasteland that you've never seen. You realize it's the area outside of the city. It's never a place you've been interested in going. It's never a place you've wanted to go. And it's never even a place you've heard of people going. But you do see life, creatures, even people crawling around on the surface. As it pulls further back out, you realize it's not land. It's skin. And you realize the city isn't in this kind of drifting island in cosmic space, as you were told in school, or as you were told in what passed for school, Chester. You start to recognize as she pulls further and further out with the view, the city itself is resting on the body of something massive. A creature that both of you make will saving throws. Or I'm sorry, wisdom saving throws.
Oh, you did it. You did it.
Done made a goof.
You said wisdom? Mm-hmm. It's 14.
16.
All right. Ekram, you're frightened. Because you realize the implication. We're just going to assume Chester is like, hey, that's a big old boy out in the space.
Huh.
Yeah, you're just like curious about it, but you're starting to like realize this thing is massive. It somehow looks like it shouldn't belong, at least in any kind of rational system that you've thought about. She says, the city exists only because the sleeper stays in its dreams. Do you boys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys notice as you look at the outskirts of the city itself is falling, shrinking, and eventually you see nothing on the back of this creature. You see it awake. You see it devastating worlds, entire civilizations blinking out, entire solar systems being swallowed, entire dimensions collapsing on the kind of unthinking chaos of this, whatever this thing is. She goes, yes.
Okay. A lot to take in, ma'am. I don't want to sound ungrateful or what's a good way to put this? Just kind of coming out of my shell shock here. Why show us this?
I show you the past to show you why what comes next has to happen, gentlemen.
That was the past.
That was.
Thank God.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. So, this thing predates the gods. It's the chaos that from everything sprung. Your gods, the gods of the races, the civilizations, all banded together and they fought for ages, eons. And even they couldn't bring this down. All they could do was force it into a slumber to recover and recuperate. And drifting on its bones, the city eventually formed. And she shows just a collection of gods kind of standing over this ripped open wound in this creature, and a heart is exposed. And you see them trying to stab at it and stop the heart, and none of their attacks even pierce it. Eventually, they kind of drift off one by one until just one, a small time dragon that looks strangely like the one in front of you, but younger, more vivacious.
I know her.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I did. You, my youth.
Now, here's the thing. I understand wanting us to understand the past, but once again, not to sound ungrateful. I'm just processing a lot. I understand wanting us to know the past. I still don't see why us as individuals. That is, I don't know what we can do about any of this.
It's fun that you asked that. You gentlemen left a little something out of your story, didn't you? I don't think you meant to, but
I meant to. I was lying.
But I've learned, if nothing, the memories of you humans or you mortals are a little bit fickle. And she moves her hand or her claw again, and you see yourself both sleeping in your beds. You realize it's the night before. You both toss and turn in your sleep. Chester, you smile. You have a happy dream, and all of a sudden you see your knuckles start to smoke and smolder as some runes are burned into them.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot about that. Okay.
And then you are tossing and turning and almost screaming in your sleep.
What was your lovely dream? Mine was so nice.
Mine was a lesson in self-reflection. That might be the best way to put it.
All right.
For whatever reason, and I do apologize, I would never want this for any of you. The dreamers picked you, both. It's marked you. She kind of nods at Chester's hands, and she goes, physically, and then she looks at you, Ekram, and says, and spiritually.
It would have been a lot funnier if he switched that. Like me physically, him mentally. Either way.
He's an ineffable creature beyond time and space. I don't know if his sense of humor is the same as ours. I don't even know if he wiped out an entire cosmos just by kind of like walking. Mm-hmm. So,
I'm thankful that I can have jokes,
Yeah, and so hopefully he didn't think it was like a real funny thing that he did, because I don't. If it is, I don't like his sense of humor.
All right.
Hey, so you said he's beyond time and space. Is that why you can't just go back in time and like get him?
Yes. Wow. And we thought Ekram was the genius. Mm-hmm. That was surprisingly profound. Yes, he is outside of it, so even someone like me can't touch those moments. I can't change them.
What if you got another one of you?
I think he thinks if there's two of you, then you can double your time powers.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a direct.
Do you think this is like a Dragon Ball Z thing where we can do a special dance and then we fuse?
It could. That's up to you.
I mean, yeah, I'm not here to judge or just tell you how to do your job. I just I thought maybe just,
Oh, good. I'm glad you don't choose one of the universe's immortals to tell them how to do their frickin' jobs.
I thought we were just pitching.
Oh, you thought this was collaborative time.
You know what? I mean, if you work together, that's different between a manager and a leader.
I think we work for, not together.
Oh no, I'm getting that vibe right now. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she just you mentally see her taking notes. Like your performance review is not going to be a fun compliment sandwich.
Hey, remember when I had that one good thought a minute ago?
That's the middle part of the
Oh
sandwich.
yeah, I can rewind to that and we can just stay there forever.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah. So you are both marked. It's not a fate I would wish for you, but it's where we find ourselves. And for whatever reason, this dreamer has chosen you. It doesn't want to awake. I know that. It's been asleep for all these years. You ever tried to wake up from a nap and just didn't really want to? Yeah. Now imagine it's a nap that's gone on for eons and it's like a super tasty nap.
We definitely like, to a certain degree, living here, so I think it's best for us to keep it asleep as well.
Oh, yeah. And she flexes her talons again, and you see another. This is what happens if he awakes. And then you just see everything, like, spaghettify.
Oh no, my stuff.
Yeah. That's probably all of reality. We're going to be honest here.
That's
So the cult that we mentioned earlier is right in thinking, because their belief, if I'm wrong, correct me, is that the world will end if it wakes up.
Yes. That cult, they like to think that with the undoing of the old world, a new world is born. But how often have you ever seen that happen? I mean, really, whenever somebody's like, oh, this will be new and different, is it ever really new or different?
no.
I mean, sometimes it could. I would say it's more inclined to not be, but there's always possibility.
Yeah.
I'm also not justifying the cult, of course.
Do you want to roll that dice on all of reality?
No. Well, I guess I won't be around either way, so it suddenly becomes it's my problem up until really quickly it's not my problem. You know what I mean? Like defusing a bomb. Right?
Okay. Hey, Chester, how does not being a nihilist sound?
No, it sounds pretty good. I like.
I was saying that's optimistic because you're worried until you're not.
Yes, I guess there is well, if you fail, oopsie poopsie.
Yeah. See, you get it.
Yeah. The world goes out with not a what is it? What's this? Fuck it.
With not a bang, but a whimper.
But a whoopsie poopsie. That's what I was gonna do. Yep. All right.
I think
we can
T.S. Eliot wrote that.
Yeah, we can edit that out. All right. Yeah.
No, that's the title of this episode. With a whoopsie poopsie.
So if they're kind of right, what other cults are kind of right?
I don't think that's relevant right now.
Like Heaven's
but, hey,
Gate.
Hey, but,
'Cause,
hey,
like,
bud.
they got new shoes.
But I know you got a whole. He loves these stuffs. We just maybe focus on one thing at a time.
She's like, I'll have one of the automatons get you a list of all the right cults. Check our Patreon if you want to see that list. Keep that behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Hey, so what do we what's up? What do we need to do?
Well, I think the prudent thing would be find out how this cult plans to awaken the dreamer.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for very large air horns.
Well, I have a spell set up in case somebody makes a giant alarm clock.
Oh, okay, good.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is good. Luckily, and I reach into my bag, I have these 2 cult uniforms. We're not members.
Oh, that's good. That would have been I would have been unfortunate to give you all that exposition.
And also, since you control time, you should know that. But, been
Are you mansplaining time for me?
No, just still rationalizing existence at the moment.
Well, don't do that. It's a
I know,
waste of
man.
time.
It's a heavy concept, isn't it?
It is.
It just is, you know.
So we can attempt to infiltrate and report back. Do you need us to report back? How does that work?
Yes, I would love to. Everything around the cult seems to get a little fuzzy.
So do we just walk into the street and kind of look up and go, "Hey, we did this."
You could come back here too. You know what? I'm gonna have the boys give you some stuff. My little automaton buddies. They'll have a little kit put together for you, gentlemen. I've been kind of preparing for this sort of thing.
Oh, that's mighty kind of you.
Also, I know you're going somewhere dangerous. I don't want you to go alone. And she kind of pulls her claw out of that pool and turns back into her little shriveled old librarian form. And she rings a small silver bell that was on the stool next to her. And you see just a giant half-orc woman kind of emerge from the shadows. You did not hear her there. You did not see her there. She has just melted out of the darkness. And on her back is the biggest fucking broadaxe you've ever seen.
See, not to diminish her. However, I would say it would be easy to not get noticed when in the presence of something that defies your reality.
The robes are a medium as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
She's at least I'm into it, but that's like a large, extra large. These robes are like a mediums.
I wasn't expecting a third party member, so
Oh, don't worry about Kaga. She has her ways.
those bodies can be found for another set of robes. Now that I think about it,
Wait, hang on, bodies. I thought I knocked them out.
you did. They're still sleeping.
They take too long rests to wake from unconsciousness.
Maybe an undetermined amount of long rests.
Well,
No, somebody will discover them eventually.
oh,
You're not in a good part of town. They're going to be looted.
Well, okay. Old Chester's gonna choose to ignore reality on this one.
The orc or half orc just kind of looks at you both and kind of looks at the librarian and be like, "You want me to hang with these guys? Are you sure I could just do this myself?"
I mean, she's talking to the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys were going to get offended or defend yourselves.
No,
or you're like, no.
I get it. I completely understand.
Well,
I also questioned why we were picked for this job.
It is a strange choice.
well, Kaga, they are marked by fate, and sometimes, as my mother said on her travel back and forth along her personal timeline, sometimes fate's a real motherfucker. So you boys feel like you can figure out the next steps. You go to this cultist meeting, figure out.
That was already the plan after we left here.
I'm not saying bad job.
maybe that's why we got picked. We're doing a great job.
I think that actually
Has that ever happened?
kind of checks
Play the role in the scrying pool. Just keys up all the times people were like, "That was a terrible job, Chester." And then that was a terrible job, Chester. That was a terrible job. Then you see your ex-wife being like, "That was a terrible job, Chester," and she's naked, and you're like, "Oh."
Well, the important thing is that when you try and do your best, everything else is kind of out of your control. So,
And it just cuts to a different time. Same ex-wife. That was a terrible job, Chester. And then another time.
yeah, there's a ceiling to your best. I don't know what is so surprising to everybody.
Then it cuts to what you can tell is clearly a prostitute. And she's like, Chester, that was pretty good. And then secretly, you hear her inner monologue being like, "That was not your best, Chester."
It's my best. It's just not very good. Like, right, is that canon now?
Yeah.
No.
You're bad at fucking.
Chester's a lame lay.
I would be like, okay, yeah, we'll just carry on with the plan that we had in our heads. However, I do have to say, do you have any books to spare? I would love to have some more knowledge on our journey. Maybe some spell books that I could take a look at.
This dude's horny for books.
Knowledge. I don't care where it comes from.
Yes, and you see two automatons approach, each carrying a pack. One hands his to you. Chester tries to grab it, and he's like, smacks his hand and hands that one to you. And then he hands Chester the other automaton hands Chester the other one. She goes, I think you'll find some useful things in there. And gentlemen, I would wish you luck, but I don't believe in it. That's another kind of dragon. It's a real Falcor son of a bitch.
Could we meet that one sometime? Do you
Wow,
know?
you just one incredibly old, powerful dragon. Not enough for you, huh? I got to meet them all.
I mean, you chose to be offended on that one. I didn't. I just like meeting luck.
Okay. Hey, automaton, take away his pack.
Okay, I hand him the backpack.
And then she, with with her hand, she pulls out a dagger and draws it across her hand. She's like, I don't know why we have to cut our hands. It always seems like a really stupid place to cut.
There are tendons there. That is not.
But
good.
it doesn't work as good anywhere else. We checked. It's science. She draws a thin line of blood. It's like a silvery, sparkly ooze.
Nice.
And she grabs your hand, Ekram, and she draws a little rune on your hand. As the symbol is complete, you feel it sinking into your hand. And she does the same to you, Chester. And she says, this will only work once. If you should have something bad happen, if you die, I can pull your spirits or your bodies back a few seconds in time. It's not a thing us dragons do lightly. You see, we're basically tying our magic to you. Try not to die is what I'm saying. You only get 2 lives.
That's twice as many as I thought. So
Yeah.
honestly, pretty good news.
Yeah.
Actually, Ekram, I'm not as worried about you as Mr. And then she points at the pool. And just a reel of you just getting smashed in alleys.
Ooh.
Hey, one time that way, he met a centaur.
Buddy.
Hey, you made a lot of choices for
A
my
centaur
character.
named Mr. Hands.
Oh no, I'm not from where you're from. Hey, so just like, what if? So we got 2 uses. Is that like 1 per or like 2 uses total?
Do you
Sounds
think you?
like 1 per.
Yeah,
Just
one
hey,
per.
just
You don't
checking.
get a Konami code of my magic.
No, I meant, I was just asking, like, what, it never hurts to ask,
Yeah. I guess clarification is good.
I'm glad you weren't just like, well, I'm gonna test this out, gun to head, bam.
Yeah, right.
Oh, god damn.
Eats
All
a
right,
sword.
well, that's gone. All right. So you guys walk out. The automaton show you out. You're followed by Kaga, and she looks at you and goes, where are we going, nerds?
I think I'm actually the only nerd here. I think you guys might be on the same wavelength.
Well, I think everyone's nerdy about something. You know what I mean? I really like to go ahead and.
Now's not the time.
Are you-
Well, okay.
did you- she just kind of looks at you and sizes you up. And she's like, did you really kill the #1 killer?
That's what they say. Where are we going, by the way?
Legally, I think, right? That's one technicality.
You don't know that.
I don't.
I
do not.
always wanted to fight him. He seemed fun.
Well, now you can't. Where are we going? Again, Ekram, where are we going, bud?
But if he killed him, wouldn't it be better to fight him since he's technically better?
Yeah, but
When
we're
this is
busy.
all done, I would love to get you in the ring.
What time is it now?
Hey, we're going to become such good friends on this adventure. You're going to go like, let's forget all about that.
I've killed every friend I have.
Well, we're going to be the lovers. What do you do with lovers?
Killed them too.
All right, what don't you kill? Bakers? I can learn how to make a pie.
I've killed most of the bakers.
What
I've met.
is happening?
It's the safest job, really.
Have you tried therapy?
What time
That's
is
actually what I named my axe.
Okay.
I don't need therapy. I go to open mics.
Oh no.
It's one of those. How much time do we have till the cult meeting?
Sorry, that's just such a silly question to ask out loud.
Just hey,
Yeah, no, it's
not
a
the first
legit
time.
question, but it's just like, Huh, yeah, I guess you do kind of have to wait around for that, don't you?
Yeah.
You guys notice you got about 3 hours.
Oh, you guys have plenty of time to fight.
No. We should do some stretching though. We gotta get ready.
You literally have a built-in dragon mulligan. Where?
You know, some of us aren't oh shit.
Fliverful? Was that what word?
You ever find a word you just can't do? Some of us aren't frivolous with our gifts.
I guess. What would you say that we made it to the area and kind of scoped it out, see what was going on, and see what kind of information we can gather?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
So that map points you to a butcher shop in the Tenderloin district, and you three set off. Kaga rushing ahead of you, just like she's not even running; she's just walking so much faster than you two.
You said her name was Kaga?
Yeah.
Hey, Kaga, if you wouldn't mind keeping pace with us, I know that we have a job to do, and it's time sensitive. However, getting caught or exposed early is not going to help us at all. So if you could we formulate some kind of strategy going into this?
She just looks back and is like, your strategy is not to die. And that's the end of the session, guys. Tyler, where can we find you? Where can we see you? What you're working on?
Yeah, you can find me at Nerd News. That's where I do all the stuff for Nerd News. It's skits, it's shorts, it's podcasts, it's whatever you want in nerdy things.
Nice.
All right, and Tyson, plug them pluggables.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tyson Cox. I'm a stand-up comedian. I travel the country. If you want me to come do stand-up at your place, let me know. You can find me at TysonCoxComedy.com or TysonCoxComedy@gmail, Instagram, all that stuff.
All right, and I'm your dungeon master, Kavin Eggleston. You can find me at KavinEggleston.com or at Kavin_egg on all the social medias. And you can listen to my other podcast where I review movies using only the covers I find on streaming services at Buy Its Cover Pod. Bye.
Nice.
I just wanna roll. I just wanna roll. I just wanna roll. Nat 20 on that troll. Hit that shit like critical. I just wanna roll. I just wanna